Hello, welcome everybody. My name's Chris. Today we're going to talk about the JET Guitars JS-800 RLC. Let's go! Thank you so much for tuning in and welcome back to the channel. Now, like I said in the beginning, this one is about the JET JS-800 RLC that you can see here in my hands. First of all, I want to shout out iMusic Network and JET Guitars, who were so kind to send me this wonderful instrument. So yeah, this is indeed a sponsored review. You're still going to hear my honest opinion about the axe, and with that being said, let's go. If you've been to the channel before and seen my review of the Spira S420, you already heard about JET. JET and Spira, together with Patina Guitars, are sister companies, and they each focus on a different kind of guitar. Whereas Patina Guitars is all about vintage specs and vintage looks, the classics, Spira goes full on metal with V-shapes, with extended range guitars, all that good metal stuff. JET is kinda, not really a blend of the two, but it has the classic shapes, sometimes with modern specs, sometimes with more vintage specs. So, whatever you need, I'm pretty sure you can find it with either of the three brands. Now, if you've been here before and seen some of my other guitar reviews, this is usually not the kind of instrument you find over here, as I'm more in the metal shreddy kind of bracket of music things. That being said, I do love me some variation, as it is the spice of life, and of course you can still chuck and shred with this, but yeah, there's a lot more to find right here, and I enjoyed my experience so far a lot. Now I'm going to put the specs of the guitar on the screen right now. They're taken from the official JET Guitars website, and you can take a closer look at what it is that is being offered here. Well, look at this, there's a bit of gig bag up here. Yeah, already played this, so yeah, I'm using this live, so that's, yeah. Alright, now the general setup here, as you can see, is very bare bones and basic. You have a three-way selector, you have a single volume knob, there's a humbucker, there's a single coil, a fixed bridge, and boom, there you go. Nothing more to say, and that's beautiful. You have this wonderful Canadian roasted maple fretboard and neck, which looks gorgeous, I have to say. And while we are around here, as you can see, a bolt-on construction with the, very modern shape. I say this in all my other reviews, I don't like the classic square shape. This is perfect, I really, really like this. So good job, JET Guitars. And there's your standard tuners, no locking, no nothing. These are very, vintage looking camera. Yes, there you go. And they work great. I can already spoil this. And that's the guitar. The letters RLC in the instrument's name refer to, the relic finish, as you can see right here. There is a big one, and back here as well. The official product pictures show different marks and things, so I'm guessing this is, kind of individual, which is pretty cool. And yeah, this is a paint job, so you don't feel the actual wood, just so you know. And then there's also the pick guard. I hope the camera picks this up. That has more it has a bit of a yellowish tint, gives it this nicotine tobacco stain kind of look that makes you think, oh yeah, this has been played for a billion years in rundown blues clubs. Same with the pickups, as you can see. So not white, more like yellowish, dirty, which is, yeah, looks pretty neat. And that is pretty much the setup of the guitar. Of course, you can, adjust the action down here and the truss rod up here, but it's a low maintenance instrument, and that is beautiful. So the first thing that you'll notice when you pick up the guitar is that it is very light. Of course, there's no trem construction, so no heavy brass block in here or whatever. But in general, overall, it is just a very light instrument. So yeah, if you're planning to play this on stage, that is a godsend, and I'm a big fan of that. Playability and fret access is fantastic. You have a big cutaway down here. You have, of course, the modern shaped bolt-on construction. So yeah, you can reach all 22 frets, no issue at all. Fret edges, fantastic. I said the same thing about the Spira in that review. JET and Spira, they know what they're doing when it comes to how they polish their frets and how, they just prepare the guitars before they're being sent out. So yeah, this is super smooth, nothing scratchy at all. I'm a big fan of that, so yeah, a lot of plus points right here. This has a 9.5-inch fretboard radius, which makes this a lot rounder than what I'm used to playing. I had no issue adapting at all. It feels great, and I could set the action how I liked it. So yeah, not my, preference, but it's great, it's good. Just something to keep in mind when you're used to your you know, other very flatter shredder guitars. The tuners, like I said earlier, are these vintage looking ones, you know, non-locking standard tuners, but they look fantastic and they work great. You know, it takes a bit of force to tune them, but I prefer that. You know, I don't like it when they're super smooth and, you know, run just a bit too fast. So they hold tuning very well and I'm satisfied, so that's good. The pickups that come stock with the guitar are JET's very own brand, so they're your basic passive Alnico pickups. You have a humbucker down here in the bridge, and then of course a single coil in the neck, and you're gonna hear how they sound right now. So that's pretty much all there is to the setup of the guitar. It is very basic. You have two pickups, you have a fixed bridge, and you're good to go. You know, slap on whatever gauge of strings you need for the gig that you're playing, and here we are. You know, the looks kind of dictate what you would use this for, I guess. This looks more like your punk or rock guitar, but with the single coil, and you heard how chimey it is, you can do some pretty cool funk stuff. So yeah, who's to say what you're gonna use this for? For me, this is gonna be, you know, kind of an in-between kind of instruments. I'm gonna use this for rock and punk things, but I'm also gonna use this for a pop gig that I have coming up. So it doesn't look as versatile as it is what I'm saying, which is a good thing, and I'm a fan of that. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the review, and I hope you liked the sound that I got out of the guitar. Big shout out again to iMusic Network and JET Guitars. Thank you for sending over this wonderful instrument. Like I said, I already played it on stage, and I'm going to play it some more in a few upcoming shows. Nobody's forcing me to say this. I really enjoy playing it. So yeah, this is for sure going to look even more beat up in a couple of months from now. Thank you again for tuning in. I hope to see you in another video on this here channel. My name's Chris, and that's that.